Not quite sure how to get a teacher job in Korea or whether it's even for you? Well, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what kind of teaching job fits you. What's up everyone, this is your boy Mike, here to give you the information you need to make it here in South Korea. So if you're trying to teach here in South Korea, it can be extremely confusing. Some of you may not know where to apply, you may not know what jobs are available, or what are even the qualifications. Well, by the end of this video, you're gonna know 4 different options that may fit you to a T. So in my last video, I spoke briefly about Hagwons, but in this one, I'm gonna go way more in detail. So for applying for Hagwons, you're going to need a 4-year university degree. Most Hagwons will accept any degree, regardless of what the major was. Also, you're going to need recommendation letters from past professors, as well as college transcripts. A friend recommended to me that if you are to apply to a Hagwon, you should apply directly to the Hagwon. You are able to apply through agencies, but keep in mind some agencies might be a little shady, so you gotta be careful. When applying for a Hagwon, there is a high chance you're gonna have to submit a video sample of your teaching. Most likely the people seeing your video are going to be your future co-teachers, and so they're judging you based on how well you can teach, as well as whether you feel or whether they feel like. So they're judging you based on how good you can teach and whether it seems like you can fit into their teaching family. Please understand, even though that you are teaching English, the work culture is very Korean. So what does that mean? That means long work hours, a hierarchy structure, and tons of hard work. Okay, so 2 things before you accept the contract. 1, make sure you read through every single thing on that contract, because some companies will try to get over on you. And the second thing, accept no less than 2 million won, which is about 2,000 US dollars. Because again, some companies will cheat you out of money. Okay, so the EPIK program is a lot different from Hagwon. See, for EPIK, you're gonna be teaching English in Korean public schools for most of the day, rather than in Hagwons, you're gonna be teaching English after school. So normally going into the evening time. So rather than me talk to you about EPIK, I'd rather my homie Skycedi actually tell you about it.
What's going on, MK Clan? This is Cedric Skycedi, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about the EPIK program. Now, if you don't know what the EPIK program is, it is the English program in Korea, which is a government-funded program where they bring in native English-speaking teachers from different English-speaking countries around the world and places these teachers in the public school systems. Now, Mike mentioned to you guys in a previous video about Hagwons and teaching through the private school systems, and so this is kind of the flip side of that, where teachers will be teaching in primarily elementary and middle school. Now, it's a pretty good gig considering the cost of living here and the pay that you'll get, and they also provide housing for you, not to mention you get a great experience teaching the kids here. Now, when it comes to the requirements, there are tons of requirements. I encourage you to go to the website to look at all of them, but let's give you an overview of what's required. First of all, you need to be a graduate of a 4-year university. You need to have a bachelor's degree. It doesn't matter what it's in. It can be in science, it can be in communications, it can be in English. It doesn't matter as long as it's accredited, and they're gonna verify that. And also, you're gonna need 2 letters of recommendations from preferably previous employers, and you're gonna also need a TESOL or TEFL certificate if you didn't get that through your degree program. And so basically this is just an English teaching certification, and the minimum amount of hours required is, I think it's about 100, maybe 120 now, I'm not sure, double check that, but it is something that you can get online or even in person depending on where you are. Now, you also need to complete an application, which is pretty extensive. You'll need to fill out different essay questions, and then also you need to create your own sample lesson. So this is a pretty big, extensive process of applying, but it's not that difficult. It just takes a lot of time, and you need to just make sure you're organized in the process. And one last thing before I forget, you'll need a criminal background check as well. And so they're gonna want to make sure that your record is clean, that when you come over, there's no issues with that. So those are the general requirements. All the information is on their website. I encourage you to check it out. And for those of you guys that are considering coming over to Korea to teach, I highly recommend the EPIK program. Again, it's really cool, the pay is good, and also you get a chance to make a difference in the people's lives. All right guys, it was good talking to you guys, and I'll see you later. Peace.
All right, so before we continue, I want to know down in the comments below, why do you guys want to teach here in South Korea? Do you have a love for teaching, or do you just want to see what it's like working in the Korean public school system? Let me know down below in the comment section. So for this next one, I am an expert at it. I have been doing it for 5 years, and that is international school teaching. International school teaching, you get a good amount of pay, you get a lot of time off, and great benefits, but it is extremely challenging. But if you're up for that, then this might be the job for you. First off, you have to have a teaching certification. Please do not apply for these jobs if you are not a certified teacher in your home country. For me, I am certified in middle grades education as well as elementary education, and I taught in the US. Second, there are a few different ways you can apply for these jobs. Now, my highest recommendation is to apply directly to the school, so you would have to do research. But also, if you are to apply, you want to apply around November to December, because by the end of December, a lot of these schools have already decided who they're gonna have for the next school year. The reason being is because of all the paperwork it requires in order to get someone a visa to come to Korea and work as a teacher. Teachers who work at international schools have something called an E7 visa, which means that these teachers are considered foreigners that have a special ability or profession to work in South Korea. On a side note, if you ever work at an international school and they give you an E2 visa, you need to be very, very careful and actually leave that school. And the last job we're going to talk about today is university teaching jobs. So these jobs are extremely sought after because you get paid more than Hagwon teachers, but then also you have really low working hours. Now, according to the website University Jobs, teachers can have from 15 to 20 working hours a week, as well as their pay could be from 1.5 million won to 2.5 million won, which is about $1,500 to about $2,500 for the month. Also, depending if you work extra hours and depending on your degree, you can also be paid more money. So, qualification for being English professor? You should have a degree in some English-related field. Also, it would help a lot if you have a TEFL or a TESOL certification. Also, if you have a master's degree, you have an extremely high chance of getting an English teaching job at a university. But in the case that you don't have a master's degree, then if you have at least 4 years worth of teaching experience, then there is still a higher chance you will get an English teaching job as a professor. Also, these universities require you to be from a native English-speaking country, which would include the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, etc., etc., etc. All right, and types of benefits for those teachers. All right, and types of benefits for college professors would include free healthcare, lodging, as well as a higher salary and a flight ticket to Korea. So now you know 4 types of teaching jobs that are available here in South Korea. You feeling confident yet? Well, if you still feel a little about where to find these teaching jobs, luckily for you, I put some links in the description below that help you find more about these jobs and help you find the job that fits you. So this week's shout out goes to Igor Vasistov for commenting on the Jobs in Korea video. If you guys want a shout out from me, then make sure you comment down in the video below. And I will make sure that every week that I choose one person that I'm gonna shout out in the video. Also, take a screenshot and upload that to your Instagram and make sure that you tag me in the Instagram and comment about the video that you just saw.